Hey, welcome to the beersjackofbbq. Check out the tomahawks we cooked on our new grill. Hey, I'm Craig, man behind the camera's Jack. A couple things should have gave it away that we're going to do something special today with this giant box sitting in front of me. Not showing you the tomahawks yet, but I can tell you they look nice, and they'll look nice when you have them ready for the grill. But the first part of this, we're just going to actually build our brand new grills. So SNS Grills came out, have done it again. Come out with a slow and sear MasterKettle grill. Can't wait to put this thing together and use it. And it's a sad day because now my regular SNS kettle, I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Because I already have another kettle here now. But Pitmaster Jack's going to take this one. So as you've seen, we've done things at Jack's house and we have a slow and sear travel kettle there. Well, now we're going to have a full kettle there, so we can actually be back and forth at different houses to try to do these cooks. So it's going to work out really well. Love the SNS grill kettle just in general. Use it all the time. Use the travel kettle all the time. Just great products. Huge fans all the time. They did send this to us, and everybody knows that we work with them. But honestly, we use the products that we like and that are well worth it, and that's why we continue to use SNS products. So let's get this thing put together. All right, so we're going to do just unbox it. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking, and we're going to start putting it together. Again, not going to do a whole lot of talking and instructions. Usually, from my experience of putting these grills together, it's pretty self-explanatory. If there's any pieces that give us trouble, we will stop at that point and kind of talk you through what we did to make it right. Not to say it's anything wrong with the instructions. It just be me putting it together. It might be where I struggle with something. Maybe somebody else will struggle too. I'm not expecting too much of that with my experience with them before, so let's start doing this. Not that there's issues, but step one, I had an issue just because you kind of need three hands almost in a sense. But what I did find is I put the screw through the metal part, put I want to call it a bearing of some sort, but it's basically a spacer through the grill. It does have like a rubber gasket, and then got the first wing nut on. That way it held in place. I was trying to do everything at once, and that wasn't going to work with just two hands, without another hand helping you. So that seemed to work fine. You saw me have it fall apart on me, then do that part. So that's my little tip. Do it one at a time. All right, here it is. That was quick, right? Actually took us about an hour, 45 minutes is my guess for that. Now, with that, like I said, the biggest trouble I had was the handle, getting the pieces all to line up. Like I said, I just did one screw at a time, which then worked the best. The other piece was the wheels. I actually, there was holes on the inside, so I'm like, I'll put those inside so you don't see them. But honestly, there's a little nub on each wheel that goes kind of against the fat washer on the bottom, and that was the other part. And the other part was 14-15. By the diagram, we both looked at it and misunderstood the direction it went, so I had to kind of redo those. But other than that, and again, those are my errors of putting this together. It was nothing to do with the instructions. But that one, 14-15, I thought was the most confusing piece, looking at the diagram. And then when we re-looked at it, I'm like, okay, kind of makes sense. They're showing it from the bottom, and we were looking at it a little bit different. But other than that, it looks great. It comes with the easy spin grate, so the spins for the reverse searing. The slow and sear deluxe, so it has the water pan in the slow and sear. I always think it's a must to get the drip and griddle pan as well. And this is the deluxe drip and griddle that I have with it, but I use that on all of them. I don't use it as much as for cooking. I've cooked on it already. It's more about capturing the grease. The ash piece is actually real heavy duty. Not the other one, I was fine with on the kettle, but the ash piece on this one with the 5 blades is even another step up of what they did on the other part. And the ash bucket itself is very similar to that grill. But I tell you what, I'm impressed by this grill and how solid it is. It's just a nice grill. I can't wait to start using it. So we're going to show this on camera, but I'm going to put a burn-in on it. I will wash the grates and those things, and then I will put a full load of charcoal in, light it, kind of hold low temperature for a little bit, then just let it burn out at a higher temperature and cook everything off. And we'll be ready for tomahawks real soon. So you won't know this. It'll look like all one video to you, but in about 3 days we'll be cooking tomahawks. So looking forward to that piece. All right, now it's cooking day. Got 2 nice tomahawks here. Salt brined these started last night, so 24 hours. Look beautiful. One looks smaller, but weight-wise, they're pretty close to the same as far as weight goes. There's just a big strip of meat underneath that bone. Lit the grill with our fire cup, so with the MasterKettle from SNS, I did burn it in over the weekend. I just put all my old charcoal in I had from other grills, lit it up, started it slow, let it run pretty hot, and then just let it burn itself out. So it kind of worked out nice. I recycled my old charcoal, so I'm all set in other grills, along with this one with some fresh charcoal. And of course, you know, when we do a tomahawk, we always do the dogfish head 120 minutes. So it's gonna be a good one. Let's get these on this new grill and see how things work out. All right, looking forward to getting them on this grill. Just gonna put them on here, and you know the drill. We're gonna probably go to about 80. And then we're going to flip them over, try to promote some even cooking. I'm going to load up a little bit more charcoal in there. I don't only have a small amount in there. Like I said, going to monitor them here. Get to about 115-ish to 120. I'll probably pull them off, let them sit while we get the rest of the grill set up for searing. Bring it back when we get to 80. All right, so we had one reach like this 82, and the other one's about 72 or so. It's actually this one, with it being the fatter one yet, didn't kind of get the temperature yet, but that's all right. We'll just flip them around. Actually, I'm gonna flip it this way to get the even heating. Ambient temperature's reading right around 250 or so, and the digital up top or in the front here is really close to that as well. It's about 275, so things are looking good. Bring it back when these get to the 115 mark. All right, so we're getting close to that 115. The one probe said it hit 115, so 113 there, 114 there. So we won't show this to you, 111 there. I'm gonna let these go just for 2-3 minutes yet on this temperature. I'm gonna pull them off and we'll start getting the fire going for the searing. All right, let's get some searing going here. Now we're going to go a minute aside, and we'll see what happens with the flames going on here, but start a minute aside and we'll see if we can make it that long with the flames. I did throw some fresh charcoal in, left that sit about 15 minutes to really take off, and you can see it's taking off pretty now. The coals aren't completely white over, but we have some good flames going, so thought it'd be time to start searing. Okay, not quite a minute, but we got some good action happening here, so I don't want to go too crazy and get too crispy on something, but I think we're safe there. This one's really getting a nice crust on it, and the other one will happen too. So, all right, so that did make it a minute. I figured I'd take my chances. What I didn't mention before was when I left them both sit and rest, they both finished. One finished at 127, one at 125 before we started this. So we should be hitting a perfect medium rare because they were actually starting to go the different direction, cooler, which means that we can get a good sear without affecting that internal temperature too much. All right, that was one more minute. We got some nice action happening here for sure. The one's getting a little there, but that crust will actually, even though it looks dark, tastes fantastic because it's just enough char to be perfect. All right, let's see if we're gonna do anything else at this point, but I don't know if we're gonna. Boy, that looks good. Tiny bit more while we're waiting here. And we'll go this side a little bit more yet, but 30 seconds and we're gonna be done. All right, so that was just about 30 seconds. I think we're gonna enjoy dinner tonight for sure. See you on the cutting board. As always, cheers. Here we are. And the cook, I had to take a little moment there because that 120 is just something special that we don't do too often because of the strength of that beer, but just a good flavor. These are from 2019, I believe they are? 19, so yeah, they're 5 years old. They age so perfectly, and we have kind of a variety in the basement. But first cook on the MasterKettle by SNS Grills. I was impressed by their previous kettle that they came out with the different features they had on there, with the smoke hole and the temperature the temperature probe hole, and putting the thermometer in the front, and just the ash bucket, just everything they did with it. This is unbelievably next level. I mean, it is solid. I'm impressed by that grill. I mean, like I said, we're big fans of them, so I don't want to overdo it, but I'm impressed in the way this thing ran today. I didn't mention in the beginning, I had the smoke hole only cracked open in like a third, and then the vents on top just cracked open because with being new, there's still no sealing going around it because it needs to cook a little more, kind of work up that you know, being used and sealing some areas just by using it, which is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to show this off even more. But Tomahawks, we pulled them off about 115 to 117. I left them sit while I threw more charcoal in the basket, let it get firing pretty good. You saw how good the searing went for that. It was about 4.5 minutes total searing. Everything was coming down. When these finished resting, they were about 127 and 126, I think they were. So should be a perfect medium rare when I cut into these things. But like I said, salt brined them last night, 24 hours in advance. Flipped them at 80, pulled them. Oh man, this is gonna be good. So let's see how we did. Yeah, it looks perfect. And a nice little charred little cap here for me. Oh, I can't wait. Pretty big piece in my mouth there, so sorry. Man, does that taste good. So we have all the links for this in our show more information. Hope you like what you're seeing. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get notifications, and we'll see you next time.